bars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to class.
Felt me like a Hellcat. Felt me like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way, yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah.
All right, if you're with us online, go and get your space set up, get your equipment ready. We're going to get started here in the next few seconds. All right, welcome back to Pump. Hopefully you're not feeling too sore today. Hopefully just feeling the perfect right amount, right? If you're with us online, this is your first class. Thanks so much for being here. You can find underneath the video you're watching what the description of the class is, what equipment you'll need, what the movements are, and I'll go over all those if you're not sure what they are, and if you don't have the equipment, that's okay. I'll give you some alternatives. If you're here in person and it's your first class, always have the equipment that you need in the top right corner of the board, as well as the movements listed on the left of it, okay? If you don't know what those are, that's okay. Same thing. I'm going to go over everything before we get started. So the class format is we'll have a 6-minute warm-up at the start, about a 10-minute cool-down stretch routine at the end. And then the workout for this class is we have 4 rounds, so it's listed up if you're on the board or under the video, like I was saying. We have 4 rounds, and each round consists of 2 movements that we're going to superset 4 times, okay? What that is, or what that looks like, is we'll do one movement for 30 seconds right into the next movement for 30 seconds. That's one set. We'll repeat that 4 times without rest. That's 1 round done. Then you'll get a minute rest. We'll move on to round 2. Today, we're kind of having an education session around cleans, okay? We're specifically doing hang cleans today. So for that, that's a barbell. That's where we all have the barbell. If you didn't get a barbell, that's okay. There's also a dumbbell hang clean version, okay? And if you're at home, I'll give you something a little bit different that you can do as well if you don't have that weight. I wonder if it starts with a B and is burpees. Well, who would have ever guessed? So for this movement, good to see you, Brittany. For the first movement, okay, so if you have a barbell, we're breaking this up into 3 different sections, okay? So the very first movement is going to be the first part of a clean progression. If you're in class and you have a barbell, go ahead and stagger yourself when you do these so you don't clip your bar on someone else's bar. Could be unfortunate. Huh? Yeah, right? That makes it more interesting. So the first progression is going to be, we're going to have our weight, okay? Basically what we're doing to start, obviously, remember, we're going to be in that brace position, okay? Shoulder blades are backing down, and we're going to push. And Brittany, if you want, there's a spot right there for you. Oh, okay, that's fair. So from here, we're dropping to start into that RDL position. Shoulder blades stay back and down, okay? Slight bend in those knees. So first progression is we're just standing up, popping the bar with our quads, okay? So just kind of quad punching that bar, and it's going to pop out a little bit. Then we're moving right back down, okay? So we pull up, quad punch. We don't want to shrug before we hit the quads on the bar because you can hit your hip bone. Feels quite terrible, okay? So we'll do that again real quick. So we're going to stand up, quad punch that bar, okay? Progression 2, which is the second movement of what we'll be doing, okay, is going to be the shrug of it. So when we do that, we're going to come back, we're going to do pull, pop, shrug, and then bring it right back down, okay? We don't need to hold it up or anything like that. When we do that shrug, we want to keep those elbows higher than those hands, okay? We don't want to be trying to pull those hands higher than those elbows. So progression 2, pull, pop into a shrug, let it come right back down, okay? Progression 3 is where we're going to have the drop under, okay? So we got progression 1 into 2, basically, so I'm going to pull, pop, shrug, drop under, catch in that low squat. Hips are going back and down, knees staying in line with those toes, weight even on those feet, standing up out of that clean, okay? You have options for doing a high catch or a low catch, okay? So that's going to be the low catch. If you're doing a high catch, we're going to pull, pop, shrug, and just kind of catch in a little bit of a dip, okay? Depends on how much leg work you want. Feel free to practice both, okay? Both of those movements, they're a little bit different, but it's good to learn them both. So feel free to switch each set if you want of what type you're doing. If you're at home and you don't have a barbell, if you have a dumbbell, okay, or you're using a dumbbell in class, it's that same exact thing except for you're not popping off of the quads, okay? So from that position, you're going to pull, shrug, catch and drop under, come back to standing, okay? Feel free to just start slow with that routine, okay? You don't need to necessarily be flying through it. One, those technical movements aren't meant to go super fast anyways, okay? Feel out the weight. Weight kind of determines how quick you're going to move with that. If you're at home, that first movement, progression 1, you're going to do burpees, okay? Excuse me. Progression 2, I'm going to have you doing push-ups, all right? Progression 3, you can do squat jumps. There's not a lot that kind of mimic 3 different clean progressions, so you're going to have kind of a different setup there. Next movement we got in class is so keeping, if you have a dumbbell or a barbell, we're going right into bent over rows, okay? So if you have a barbell, you can either do hands over the top, okay? And you can have the elbows staying low, or you can go a little bit wider grip and elbows high and wide with that over the top grip, okay? Or you can switch that grip up, reverse grip, elbows stay close in the body, and you're going to do that bent over row, okay? Really focusing on, so it's all going in that bent over position. You don't need the weight, okay? From here, then go ahead and pull those elbows up, and then from here, squeeze the elbows into the body. Can you feel your lats kind of on the side of your back kind of activate as you pull in? That's that main muscle you're pulling with, okay? Also be intentional at the top of that pull, squeeze those scapula together, okay? If you're at home and you don't have weight, feel free to just do an isometric contraction and hold that squeeze for that full 30 seconds, okay? If you're using dumbbells, same thing, you're just not using that barbell. That's what I was saying, I can't read. Next movement we got is going to be the T squeezies supersetted with the Y lifts. Remembering for T squeezes, okay? We're going to be in that bent over position, that RDL position. If at any point you get really exhausted, so in your low back really starts to get tired of a lot of bent over positions, make sure you're not losing that brace at any point, okay? If you're here, once you lose that bracing, if you let that gut drop, that pelvic floor fall, all that strain is going to go right into that low back, okay? So really make sure you're braced. And if you need, stand up, take a break, okay? You can kind of stand there, let that low back rest a little bit. So, T squeezes, shoulder blades are back down, thumbs are going to be out. We're lifting and squeezing those scapula together and then lowering them back down, okay? With the superset, we're going to go from a T squeeze into the same thing. Thumbs are going to stay up, but into a Y lift. So we're going out into a Y, okay? With this one, imagine lifting your right shoulder blade is going down into your left back pocket, okay? So it's going back and across, okay? And then your left scapula is going back and across to that right back pocket, okay? That's kind of what you're thinking when you're doing those Ys, okay? Really use the back to do that pull, to do that lift. Don't need a lot of weight for that movement. You can use weight if you want, but you definitely don't need it. Next movement we got, pull squats, aka squat pukes. Either one you want. So, slight bend in the knees, okay? Hips are pushed back a little bit. With these, we're just going to go down into a full squat. On the way back up, though, we're stopping about 5/6 of the way from the top. We're keeping those quads engaged, hamstrings, glutes. Everything's going to stay engaged that whole time, and then you're going to drop right back down, okay? Feel free to do weight or unweighted, right? And feel free to take those breaks if you need any breaks, obviously. Next movement we got on there is our first class of 4 rounds. Wow, we did it. Woohoo! We have lateral raise, okay? So you have some options here. When you're doing a lateral raise, though, the biggest thing we want to remember, elbows stay higher than the wrists, okay? If you notice as you're getting tired, those elbows are dropping lower than the wrists. All that tension is going from that delt into that elbow joint, okay? So make sure you're keeping those elbows up and not dropping them down, okay? So what I said, you have options. You can go out to the side and you could stay doing lateral raises, or you can move into front raises, or you can alternate, okay? It's up to you, kind of whatever you want to do with that. Biggest thing, though, don't let that elbow drop. That's the important piece, okay? And then the last movement we got is going to be low power plank into a side plank. So we'll all come down onto the floor. Biggest thing with the low power plank is we want to be intentional about squeezing our elbows down towards our feet and our feet up towards our elbows, but having the core do that squeeze, okay? So once we lift up, we're braced. Imagine that core is squeezing and you're pulling those elbows down towards your feet and you're pulling those feet up towards your elbows, okay? You'll notice you'll have a little bit of shake probably in the body, okay? You're having a lot of intentional core activation, core control there, okay? Next movement we have on that one, so when we switch back to it, then we're switching to a side plank. So we're going, the next one's coming right on the side, okay? Big thing, we don't want to let the ears and the shoulders collapse together, okay? So we're going to lift. And same thing with the other one, we're squeezing the elbow down to the feet, feet up to the elbows, really getting that oblique squeeze, okay? Then the next time we come around for the following set, we're going to the opposite side plank. And then the final one, we're back to a regular low plank, okay? So we're hitting 2 low planks and 1 side plank on each side. Yes, yep, good question. So with the clean progression, are we doing the full, like, 30 seconds of the first one and then right into the second one and then back to that first one? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, so we're going to switch back and forth between those. Yes, sorry, I misunderstood that. Yes, that is the correct one. I told you I lost my brain. I left my badge over there, my keys, all kinds of stuff. Before we get started, any questions? Like I said, there's not a lot of breaks planned in this class, so feel free to take breaks at any point in time. Feel free to switch up those weights. Once we finish the first 2 rounds, you can take the weights off your bar, okay? We won't need those bars anymore, and we can kind of share the weights then because we use a lot of them up when we're using a bar movement. Dumbbells are for, so the dumbbells are for either the T squeezes and Y lift if you want, or also the pull squats. Yeah, good question. And then the lateral raise. All right. Any questions? I didn't think so. All right, let's do it. Starting with those jumping jacks. Brace, pelvic floors up and in. That core is strong. Remember, you can always stagger your position if you find you don't quite have enough arm space. pelvic floor up and in. Keep that brace position. Air squats. Pushing those hips back and down. Those knees are going to stay in line with those toes. Think of the hips moving back before the knees bend, okay? So hips back, sit down into that little chair, right back up. Keep those glutes on the full time. Don't let those glutes shut off. Weights even on those feet. Nice job. Only at about 40, 50%. We're not overly pushing yet. Just kind of warming up those muscles, warming up the joints. Marches. Drive those knees up. Remember, use that core, put a little bit of power into that knee drive. Lunges, alternating. Weights even on that front leg. Knees in line with that toe. Weights even on that foot. Think of balance and control. More than speed. Good job. Stay braced, don't lose that bracing. Arm circles. Full range of motion. Reverse, opposite direction. Inchworms into those push-ups. Remember to bend those knees. Don't round that low back as you walk out to that push-up position. You can do a 1-in-1 ratio, or you can maybe do 3 or 4 push-ups in a row and then hold that stretch a little while. It's up to you. Jumping jacks. All right, round 2 of the warm-up. Starting to pick up that pace, moving a little bit quicker. Stay braced. Air squats. We're picking up that tempo, but we're still controlling that movement. We're not bouncing at the bottom. We're controlling that stop. Going back up. Marches. Keep that bracing. Lunges alternating. If you want, you can add that twist, add a little bit of thoracic rotation. If you are, you're twisting towards the side of that knee that's out in front. Slow, controlled. Remember, focus on that balance, that control, no wobbles. Arm circles. Full range of motion. Reverse, opposite direction. Remember this one, try not to rotate the torso. Keep that chest squared. Use the range of motion in the shoulders. Inchworms into those push-ups. Go ahead and take a break. All right, we got 1 minute, and we're starting with that clean progression. If your bars are tight, you can always turn sideways, okay? Bars go this way, you face this side. That can free up a little bit of space if you need. Progression 1 is just that pull and pop, okay? If you have a barbell, pull and pop. If you don't have that barbell, think of doing an RDL. So we're just coming here, standing up with it, squeezing those glutes. "15 seconds and we're starting. Remember to stay braced. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Make sure you got enough space on your side. Keep the weight even on the feet. We don't want to lose the balance forward or backwards. We're just standing up, popping. Think of quad punching that bar. Nice job, and then right back down. Keep those glutes on. Don't let those glutes shut off. Two, we're adding, so pull, pop, shrug, and then just let it, we don't need to hold that shrug, right? Just gonna pull, pop, shrug, right back down. If you don't have that barbell, you're just doing that RDL and doing that shrug without that pop still. Elbows stay higher than the wrists, those hands, and then right back down. Keep those glutes strong, stay braced. Good job. Switch, progression 1, just that pull and that pop. Keep those glutes on, stay braced. Progression 2, adding in that shrug. Keep those glutes on. Elbows stay higher than those hands. Don't let those hands come up above. Good job. Find your own tempo. Progression 1, just that pull and that pop. Weight stays even on those feet. Don't let those heels come up. Don't let those toes come up. Nice job. Keep those scapula back and down. Don't let those shoulders drop around forward. Good job. Progression 2. Adding that shrug in there. Weights even from left foot to right foot. Make sure you're keeping that bracing. Take those breaks as you need. Good job. Keep those knees in line with those toes. We don't want those knees collapsing. Keep them up and open. Progression 1. Pull, pop. Really load those glutes. Shoulder blades stay back and down. Add Add that shrug, progression 2. Nice job. Stay with it, stay with it. Break. 1 minute rest. Oh. Let me go grab my key real quick. We're in progression 3. So you got the pull, pop, shrug, and now we're dropping under in that catch. Hips go back and down, knee, just like a good squat. You're just catching under that weight. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Remember, if you don't have that weight, you're just getting rid of that pop. Nice job. Sit those hips back and down. Don't let the knees go forward. Nice job. Keep that balance on the feet. Don't let those toes come up. Don't let those heels come up. Switch into that bent over row. If your low back starts to really feel a lot of that strain, you can get rid of the weight and do reverse squeezes, okay? It can help if that low back is getting really tired. Nice job, y'all. Either grip option, up to you. Really focus on that squeeze at the top. What muscle you're trying to work. Progression 3. All right, so we're back into it. So we got that pull, pop, shrug, drop under, catch. Standing back up with it. Nice job. Stay braced, keep those glutes strong. Nice job. In that catch, try to keep those elbows up. What I mean by that is when you're here, keep those elbows up as far as you can. Don't let them drop down. Bent over row. Or you can switch up that grip if you want. Whatever you want here. How those forearms feeling? Really focus on that squeeze. What muscle's working? Squeeze those elbows in at the top. Switch back into that progression 3. Bent over row. Really keep that bracing, okay? Remember, you can get rid of that weight. Like I said, that low back is just dying. Be right here. Squeeze those arms back. Get a lot of that lat squeeze. Nice job. Keep those scapula back and down. Progression 3. Last set here. Now find your own tempo. Doesn't matter how quick you're moving. Good job. Stay with it. So and then this one is just the arm. Yes. Nice job, nice job. 2 brutal supersets in a row. Almost there. Nice job. Take a break. Woo. Nice job, y'all. Clean progressions are a toughie. We're done with that bar, so you can take that weight off if you want. Next movement, T squeezes with those Y lifts. You don't need any weight here, okay? Don't have to have any weight. Supersetted with those pulse squats. Also don't need to have any weight here. Weight is completely optional because they're tough movements. "20 seconds, get a little bit of movement. All right, with those T squeezes, really focusing on that scapula contraction, okay? That scapula, that back is what's working here. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. We're in that bent over position. Thumbs are out and up. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze in between those scapulas. Squeeze them together. Nice. Remember, this is your own superset ratio. You can do 1 right into a Y left. You can do 1 and 1. You can do 3 and 1, but they're supersetted together. Stay braced, stay braced. Pulse squats, weighted or unweighted. So we're just going down into that squat. We're stopping just short of the top. We're keeping that slight bend in the knees. Those glutes are gonna stay pressed back. And we're right back down. Keep those glutes on. Weight even on those feet. We're just gonna pulse it out. Stay braced. This one's a burner. T squeezes into those Y lifts. Really keep that bracing. Don't let that bracing go. Good job. Pulse squats. If your low back is really getting tired, feel free to bring yourself up a little bit. Disengage that a little bit. Lower that intensity. Good job. Stopping short of the top. Glutes on, weight even on those feet. Knees in line with those toes. T squeezes into those Y lifts. Pelvic floor up and in. Keep that core strong. Pulse squats. Nice job, y'all. Keep those glutes on. Shoulder blades stay back and down. Pulse it out. Don't lose that bracing. A lot of times when we're really tired, we can lose that bracing at the bottom. Then all that strain goes into that low back. So really keep that brace. T squeezes. Our last set, and we have no more bent over movements. Pulse squats. Last movement of this round. Stay braced. Don't lose that bracing. Take a break. Nice work, y'all. Couple tough supersets there. We made it through. Last movement. Lateral raise, which you'll be happy. You're standing perfectly straight up. Supersetted with those power planks, okay? Low front power plank. Next one's a side power plank. Next one will be the opposite side. Then back to that front. If you want a mat, go ahead and get your mat out. "15 seconds. With those lateral raises, you know how much space you have next to your neighbor. Don't clock fingers. 5, 3, 2, 1. Lateral raise or front raise. Remember, you have that choice. Do lateral, or you can do front, or you can switch it up. Stay braced. Strong, controlled movements. Don't let those elbows drop lower than those wrists. Low power plank. We're down. Elbows are down, palms down, and we're squeezing that floor together. Also, squeeze the glutes. The whole body should be flexed here. Scapula, glutes, core. Pelvic floor up and in. Really get that squeeze. Elbows to feet, feet to elbows. Lateral raise or that front raise. Oh no, shoot. You want one of these ones? Same speed up, same speed down. Scapula stays back and down. We don't want to round those shoulders forward. Side plank. You can choose whatever side you want. Squeeze the elbow to the feet, feet to the elbow. Pelvic floor up and in. Those obliques should be flexed. Lateral front raise. Whichever arm is just holding you, that shoulder is going to be tired. Same speed up, same speed down. Good job. Keep those scapula back and down. Don't round those shoulders forward. Side plank. Opposite side as last time. Elbow towards the feet, feet towards the elbows, those obliques. Scapula are still strong.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold at the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way.
Remember, take those breaks as you need. Lateral raise. Last set, let's go, make it good. Elbows high, elbows high. Low power plank, last one. On both arms here. Crunch that core. Bring those elbows to those feet. Squeeze those glutes. Flex, flex, flex. Stay in it, stay in it. Take a break. Nice work today, yos. My peeps at home. Try to lift those arms up. We'll do them up here. Nice job today, yos. Tough. Okay. Nice job.
He just wants to know that you're well. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. As it was. As it was. You know it's not the same as it was. As it was. As it was. You know it's not the same as it
Arms feel so light right now, right? It's like 1 billion pounds. As you clean up, go and start to slow that breathing down. Breathing in through the nose. Remember on those inhales, bring that breath down into the belly, not breathing in through the chest and the shoulders. Exhaling through the mouth. When you're cleaning up, if you find any black streaks on the floor from weights, we'll help out facilities, we'll wipe those up. Whenever you're ready, we're going to start with those deeper breaths. Oh, I shut off the wrong light. Did the wrong light. Usually shut off the backlight so people at home can still see me in the... Oh, sorry. A little dark there for a second. On that next exhale, go and pull that arm across, stretching that rear delt. Yeah. We wanted to get the dimmables. Remember, through all these stretches, keeping that just slight brace posture, about 2 out of 10 intensity. Staying with those breaths, stretching a little further on each exhale. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Is anybody really sore anywhere from the last class? Want to focus stretches everywhere. Glutes. When you're ready, go ahead and release. We're going to pull that first arm up and behind, grabbing that elbow. That backside hand you can bring in between the scapula. Whenever you're in this stretch, try not to shrug those shoulders, okay? Shoulder blades stay back and down. Keep that chest up and open. Don't want to collapse. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Bring those hands behind the back, interlock those fingers, shoulder blades back and down, chest up and open. We're going to roll that head and neck. If you find a spot that's really tight, feel free to stay there and breathe through it. on that exhale, dropping down into that full floor squat. Trying to keep those heels down if at all possible. Can't quite get those heels down, that's okay. You can keep the weight forward on the hands. You kind of work into that stretch over time. If you have those heels down, feel free to bring the elbows to the inside of knees, palms together. If you want more inner thigh stretch, go and start to press those palms down. Remember to try not to collapse in this position. Still keeping those breasts down into the belly, out through the mouth. Always feel free, you can move around in these stretches. Whenever you're ready, we're going to drop it down onto the floor for that puppy pose. Hips staying above the knees, arms extending out in front, letting that chest fall to the floor. Doing a little bit more lat and tricep stretch applied. You can bring those hands back behind the head. If you have those hands behind the head, you can bring them back down. We're going to slowly bring ourselves back up to standing on all fours. We're going to inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, open that chest. And on that exhale, we're going to pull the arm under through to the opposite side, getting that torso and shoulder stretch. Feel free to lay your weight on that arm if it's comfortable. Remember to breathe. When you're ready, slowly inhale yourself back up to open to the ceiling. Then exhale back down to center. Same thing on the opposite side. We're going to inhale that left arm up, open to the side. On that exhale, we're going to pull that arm underneath and across. Getting that torso and shoulder stretch. Try not to shrug the shoulders. As you're ready, slowly inhale, lift yourself up, out, and open. Back to the sky. On that exhale, go and drop the arm down. We're going to fit in 2 more stretches here, coming up into a plank. Go and inhale that right knee up underneath with that foot coming across. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, go and wiggle that back leg back, that foot a little further away. And breathe. That hip, that glute, that hamstring start to relax, you can slowly bring yourself deeper into that stretch if it feels good. Remember to keep those hips squared here. Don't let the hips roll out and open. Making every 3rd or 4th inhale a little bit deeper, finding where you're holding that tension. And on that next exhale, let it melt away. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up and out of that stretch. Tuck that back toe, step back into plank. We're going to bring that left knee up and under with that foot across again. You can wiggle that back foot a little bit further behind. Same thing, as you're ready, you can slowly release down into that stretch. breaths, every third or fourth. Inhale a little bit deeper, find where that tension is. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch, tucking that back toe. And we're gonna push into a downward dog. Feel free to pedal out those feet, stretching those calves, hamstrings, glutes. And as you're ready, feel free to stay there if you want for a bit. You can walk your hands into those feet. And we're gonna finish with those last breaths. Remember to feel free to stay and stretch if you want, as these stretches aren't exhaustive. We're running out of time today. This last breath is a thank you to yourself and your body for showing up today, getting a little bit of movement in. It would have been just as easy to not make it. Nice job today, everybody. Great work. Tough class today. It was a tough class. We have all weekend. Don't forget your homework. Get a good solid dinner after class tonight. Drink lots of water, at least those 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And with that, hey, we're 1 week done. Right? This is the first week? I think it's the first week. This is the first week. But, yeah, until next time. If you are at all really sore tomorrow, want a little bit of movement, movement helps with that soreness. So feel free to jump onto like an yoga class online, something like that that's a little bit low impact, a little bit of light movement, stretching. That can help a lot. If you're with us online, thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want updates of when class goes live so you don't have to search for it. And with that, have a nice night.